Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Sad Money. This is episode 14, and you're here with Steven Sihelnik and
You're here with the almighty dollar, Alexander Payne.
that's right. And as you can see, it's summer here in New York. It's bright out, it's hot out, but you know what's cooling off?
What is cooling off?
Inflation. Oh shit. Apparently. That's what the numbers say. That's what the numbers said today as they came in. What do you think about that?
I think those numbers are a lie.
You mean a crock of shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't wear Crocs. I wear Easy Foam Runners. But yeah, I would say it's a big lie.
Crocs it's a good company.
I hate Crocs.
It's a good company. I didn't say anything about the style or.
You mean if you're invested into it?
Yeah.
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Everyone's leaving Adidas.
Yeah, Crocs. They use like all of the rubber. Mm-hmm. You know when like as a kid your parent would like take your toys away.
Yeah.
They melt that down and then they put it into their shoes. It's built on children's destroyed dreams.
Well, Yeezy uses algae foam, so.
I don't even know what that is.
Exactly. But it's algae.
It's made out of like algae.
Yeah. And foam.
That's pretty dope.
That's why he is. That's why he's the man.
And
$1 billion man.
They're reselling his stuff, right?
They just re-released. They had a Yeezy Day.
Adidas.
Yeah. The crazy thing was that they said we're gonna release these shoes and a portion of it is going to charity. They didn't tell you how much.
Right.
But they said a portion of it.
Some of it.
And they dropped them Memorial Day, which is ironic for many reasons. And I'm not gonna lie, I caught me a pair of slides for charity, obviously.
Right.
Not to support Kanye West.
No.
That's not what we're about here. We're about charity, like Adidas.
Yeah.
And yeah, this was the easiest drop I've ever gotten shoes. But it was messed up with the whole getting them, and they were delayed and everything. And they use FedEx, and FedEx drivers sometimes steal people's shoes.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they steal people's shoes, and what they do is they take a picture of where the box should be, and there would just be nothing there. Or sometimes the thing that Adidas does, which is really stupid, is they'll put the shoe and the shoe size on the outside like a sticker. So it's like, oh yeah, size 13 foam runners. And the crazy thing about these shoes is they had the stock sitting there so long that some of the stuff that they got, it's some of it has mold on it. Which means they've had these shoes for possibly 5 years or so. And
does yours have like mold on it? No, yours is good, right?
Well, no, I got the slides. I got the so those are made out of foam, algae foam.
Algae foam.
Algae foam.
Yeah. Can't be foam or it can't be mold when it's algae.
No, but a lot of the wave runners, like the ones you have, that have the suede, some of those have mold on it.
Not mine, man. I'm erasing that shit. You taught me how to do that.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Yeah. So, all right. So, yeah, the inflation numbers are coming in lower, apparently. It was like, what, 4.5%?
Yeah.
No, it was like 4.1%. And then core was a little bit higher than that. But it's trending down. It's been 12 straight months of lower inflation.
Why don't they tell the grocery store? Because everything is still high as hell.
Yeah.
I went to a place yesterday that I was just walking by back from the gym. Because your boy's back on it. He's back from Europe. And I was walking past this place and it said $6.99 for chicken and lamb over rice.
Okay.
And I was walking by and I was like, I don't even want chicken and rice, but $6.99, that's a deal. What the hell? Really I gotta go in there. And then I went in, looked at the prices inside, and it said $12.99. Then I went back outside, looked at the price, it said $6.99. Then I went back in and I said, "Is it $6.99?" And he was like, "Oh no, that's not old." No,
that was 2021 outside.
Yeah.
And then you went in and that's 2023.
Exactly.
It's like welcome to reality.
I was like, yeah, that makes sense because there's no way in hell you could be operating a business and it's that cheap. Because I didn't even want it.
Yeah.
It was $6.99, chicken and lamb, and you got a soda.
That's crazy.
That's why I was like,
because you could eat that and then you could go peel off the soda, sell the soda. $2.75.
Literally.
And then that's what? That's like $3.
It was crazy when I saw that, but yeah,
that's
everything is still high as hell.
That's what we call equity carve out there. Right there. We take that, we take what we want, and then we sell the rest of it.
Yeah, everything is still very expensive. Trying to think of any recent purchases I bought besides my Yeezy slides.
Yeah.
Most of my expenses is just food and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know what's never been more expensive?
what?
Investment in myself.
There you go.
That's right.
Invest in yourself.
That's right. Yeah, I want you to do the same.
Believe in yourself.
The only thing that I've spent money on recently is actually these sunglasses. They were $70.
That's about how much my slides
Not
were.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to wear these to start. Shout out Crap Eyewear. Pretty good.
It's called Crap Eyewear?
It's called Crap Eyewear.
Is that a good name?
It's right here. You know what? I really don't care.
Let me see.
It's right there in the middle.
Crap Eyewear.
But they do a lot of sales. So if you need cheap sunglasses, that's a good place to go that don't
Yeah.
look cheap. Sponsor us. I just gave you free promotional material. That's a little taste. But if you want the full Sad Money package, you got to sponsor us now.
I get most of my stuff from eBay or Grailed or secondhand.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
As they say, there's a sucker born every minute, and I'm proof.
We all are.
Well, no, you feel really stupid when you're like, how much is a shirt? $300? Well, I guess I don't need to buy a shirt for the
No.
next 3 years.
No, you can't.
I will.
Damn.
I do. I will buy a shirt if it's $300 if I know for a fact that I will wear that shirt more than I would wear like.
That's
So
fair.
I only have two categories. I have a shirt like this, which
Yeah.
was given to me,
Yeah.
that I will wear multi-purpose, work out in it, not care about it, didn't pay for it. I don't care. You know, all these stupid promotion shirts.
Yeah.
And then there's shirts that I will pay secondhand that are like, I
Yeah.
would say they're not retail, but like they're secondhand from like expensive places like, I don't know, Balenciaga or Bold or whatever.
Yeah.
And I would rather pay
for that.
more to have that because they last longer.
You know what? I do that too.
Yeah, and keep them in like good quality, and then
Yeah.
versus we actually had this argument or discussion the other day with our friend about fast fashion,
Yeah.
which was such an I'm
Man on the Street segment, right?
no. This was on Friday. We were talking to Natan.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just fast fashion is something we're very interested in though.
Yeah.
But we have had it also too with the interview
Yeah.
segment where there are, so let's say, you know, again, you know, I don't make like I don't even have a job, so shouldn't be buying anything really.
Yeah.
But when I was working, I'm not a big fan of buying shirts from like H&M or
Yeah.
trying to think of places where you really like get basically cheap places.
Yeah.
You know, like Uniqlo has better quality and they last longer, but like H&M or something like that where the shirt is really cheap and in a year, or the jeans are cheap,
Yeah.
and in a year or two they're gone, or maybe less, because in the long run you end up spending more on those items of clothing.
Yeah.
And then also it's not good for sustainability purposes.
It's good. So you like amortize your clothing. If you're like, this is gonna last 5 years and I pay $200 for it, it's really like $40 a year.
Yeah.
Which is not that expensive versus like if you have to buy new jeans every year.
If you have to buy new jeans
Yeah.
every year, and also to just like globally the carbon footprint or whatever, you know, or like, you know.
I like this. I'm gonna start rationalizing my expenses like this.
Well, really, this is where eBay gets you. This is where they get you. They get you with that pay later shit. No. And I pay later. I pay later.
Use that Klarna or whatever.
No, I use, is it Klarna? It might be Klarna. I don't know what it is, but it's basically if you get a shirt that's $300 and they'll go like, oh, it's $33 a week. And I'm like, $33 a week? That's what I pay for the Metro when I wasn't hopping it. And it's like, so in my head, I'm like, well, I'm not paying for the Metro. I'm hopping it. So it's like, that's what I would pay if I wasn't doing this.
So every time you jump the Metro,
I'm paying for that shirt.
Yeah, you're like, thank you, MTA.
Yeah, thank you for allowing me to get that shirt. And so that way, every week you put $33 till you pay the $300. That way, it's not $300 taken out of your account at once.
Right.
But I thought what was interesting about this conversation is not that necessarily I do this. It's just that other people feel on the other end, it is okay for them to buy fast fashion or cheap shirts because they go, well, what can I do? In the weird way, they feel like being poor absolves them of their choices, which I thought was very interesting.
It's kind of like fast food. It's so similar that it's so interesting that fast food and fast fashion is like similar. habits.
it's just quick and cheap and easy, but at the same time, it's more hurtful to, I don't even want to say you, but in the long
Yeah.
run, it is actually, you spend more on it. So it
Yeah.
hurts more hurtful to you, the environment, and everyone around you, really. Where it's like, but I was just captivated or like found it interesting about the mindset of people of my class, which is people who don't make, we're not wealthy, and just how sometimes even us, we can excuse our own actions because we go, well, I'm poor. It's like you know, what am I supposed to do? And
Yeah.
I'm not even saying that you have to buy a very expensive shirt the way I buy it. You could actually just go to
Yeah.
a vintage store, not even a vintage store. You could go to clothes by the pound. You can go to thrift stores. I used to go to a lot of thrift stores before they got popular. Now I just can't stand to be in them.
Ooh.
Pretty much most of the
Interesting.
time. Well, you found a pair of Yeezys the other day at a thrift store.
Yeah, but I actually ended up getting, it's at I actually like this place called Tokyo 7. They're pretty good. And I got APC pants that like,
Yeah.
they're like, and I felt bad. I spent 120. I'm like, man, that's a lot for pants. But then I looked at them online. They retail for like $350.
Yeah, but
So
I don't know if that is a lot for pants. Like if you go buy Levi's,
I'm just
denim,
saying, in my mind, I'm like, oh, man, I'm spending over $100 for pants. I was like, that's a lot of money. And then I was like looking online, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, these are $350.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I mean,
it's
APC
just yeah.
is a good quality, man, in France. That's who Kanye
Yeah.
first started working with when he first started making clothes, was APC.
I really liked them. I was really impressed. So I'm gonna start doing that more.
Yeah, because eventually, if you buy cheaper pants,
Yeah.
they're gonna rip. Everyone knows this, and then eventually you'll just be like, where
Yeah.
am I now? Like I've bought clothes from Ross, and it's not that they're bad clothing or anything like that, but they do rip and tear,
Yeah.
and it's like you paid $20 for them. Like, I don't know what you can expect,
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair.
This is, I don't know. I just thought that was an interesting mindset, and I'm interested what people think about it too. Like, it's that I should start asking this for more man on the street stuff. The Jeffrey Bezos question.
What's that?
It's this question I have that I always use to test people, which is like, who do you think is a worse person, Jeffrey Bezos or Ted Bundy? And most people usually say Jeffrey Bezos, and then I ask them afterwards, do you have Amazon Prime? And they all say yes. And I go, so if you think he's a worse person than Ted Bundy, who killed, I believe, 25 women
Yeah.
and stabbed them to death, why are you supporting Jeffrey Bezos? And then they all say the same thing, which is, well, I don't have the money he has. I'm poor, so it's okay. But it's like, so would you pay $12 a month to support Ted Bundy stabbing women?
Yeah.
It's like, it's weird. I'm just fascinated with the mindset of like, if you don't have money, almost all your actions are excusable, which I think is the exact opposite of everyone with money, or not the exact opposite, the exact same. Because then they go, well, I have money, I should act this way.
So I can do anything.
I can do anything.
But I think there's a level in between where people go, they're really careful with their money because it took a lot for them to get there, and then they just keep that mindset.
There's that too.
Yeah.
But I just think like,
Which also isn't good because then you don't enjoy, or whatever that means, the money that you made.
yeah, the spending isn't what's interesting to me, or what you spend. It's the mindset of why you spend on what you spend on, or why you feel the way you feel about people with money. Because when we were doing our man on the street segments, a lot of the times, or woman on the streets, or person on the street segments, you would notice that people would say one thing about billionaires,
Yeah.
but then immediately we would fall in line to actually how every billionaire works.
Yeah.
They'd be like, I hate billionaires. Would you want to be a billionaire? Yes. Okay, what would you do if you were a billionaire?
Yeah.
And they'd be like, well, I wouldn't tell anyone in my family. I just keep it hoarded.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Well, people want to leave this is what America is so amazing at. This is what like is they leave that ceiling open to you, supposedly, where they're like, well, you can do it too if you work hard enough. So then every single person walking around, like you said, you have that saying where it's like everyone's a millionaire, they just don't know it yet.
Temporarily embarrassed millionaires.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Everyone believes they're gonna be a millionaire,
Yeah, and it's like,
and it's their American right to be a millionaire.
and every 10 years we just update it. We went from millionaire to billionaire, then it's gonna be trillionaire, and then whatever's after that. So it'll,
Quadrillionaire.
yeah, yeah, and I would say, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting. It's I don't know how we got here, but I like that.
Well, I was just talking about, we were talking about buying stuff, and then, the idea of like, I was just thinking about it, like people's mindsets when they buy stuff, why they buy stuff,
Yeah.
why it's okay, why in their mind is justified to,
Oh, the justification of it.
yeah, buying certain things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. Yeah. And that was like what we bought recently.
Yeah, we were talking about inflation before that and about how it's not going back down.
Yep. Yeah, it's like it's been trending down. It's been basically like, at least the numbers that have been coming out is setting up a play for the Fed to pause. So they have that policy tool in place. But the Bank of Canada 2 weeks ago, they just started raising rates again, policy reversal, after they said that they were done raising rates because inflation started to pick up there again. So I kind of feel like, we keep talking about it, but the Fed's in like a rock and a hard place where, they want to cut rates or at least, stop raising them. But the second inflation, if it starts ticking back up again, it may not be this year, but if it happens like in the next 6 to 12 months, they're going to have to start tightening again or using that policy tool. So
I'm just going to make an educated guess here, just
Yeah.
based on what usually happens. You're good for the summer,
yeah,
but after that, and I'm talking October, there will be no soft landing.
yeah,
Get ready,
that's what's getting priced in right now.
because this is about to get heavy. It always happens in October. I don't know why.
These are the red Octobers.
Basically, yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna be some blood on the leaves.
Blood on, yeah, exactly.
They make it. I don't know what it is, like a summer coasting where they go like, everybody just have some fun. You know what I mean?
I want to go to the Hamptons. Wouldn't
That's
you?
what it is.
If I had a Hamptons house, I would be like, fuck
Congress
this.
goes on break and everything, which is ironic. They're so
Make
old
the
and on
call.
summer break, and then next thing
Yeah.
you know, it's like we come back to school and fall, and they're like, well, time for the economy to crash.
Yeah, it's like also, I don't know. There's like fun flows and all that other stuff, but it's like I think that's the best explanation. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
That you said.
Like, people now are talking about, I don't know who these people are. I think this is, let's just be honest, somebody who got bought by somebody is saying we're now in a bull run.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And it's
Technically, yeah.
Yeah, but technically, didn't we talk about this like months ago, where like how many dead cat bounces that they had during the Great Depression?
Yeah, because we were technically in a bear market and then technically bull market.
Yeah.
I
mean,
I got you. Yeah.
If we all believe that everything was overvalued 6 months to a year, what has changed?
AI. That's it, bro.
Oh,
AI
ChatGPT.
has changed the game.
Yeah.
Which is actually, then that's why it's a good segue for Reddit. And
Yeah.
the reason why Reddit, if you haven't noticed, Reddit's been down for a couple of days.
Some of the boards are gone. There was a board I was part of called Late Stage Capitalism, which is no more. R.I.P.
Nice. Yeah. I'm a part of Uplifting News. There's a couple of them. Some dirty, disgusting boards I'll never name also.
Our videos is gone.
Yeah. No, it's the best place to get.
OnlyFans for free.
Yeah, I guess only. Apparently, Kanye uses that for his porn.
I did too during the pandemic.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's a lot on Reddit.
Yeah, it's I use it to read it. I don't watch it, but they basically use AI like Bard and like OpenAI. They were using Reddit to train their systems. So then, like, the new CEO of Reddit is like, hold on, we got to update our pricing.
Yeah.
And then it's fucking over other third-party APIs. Like, there's a company called Apollo, right? And this guy, Christian, who runs it, is like, well, they're charging me. They say you're going to have to pay $20 million just to basically use Reddit. And all Apollo is it's an easier way to look at Reddit, so it's not outdated.
Yeah.
But they're telling this guy, they're like, well, you can't, basically your company has to pay us $20 million a year now because we're updating our pricing. Wow. No rhyme or reason. So
if everything else is going up,
If it's up, then it's up.
That's
If
exactly
it's
right.
up, then it's up.
See, the price outside says $6.99, but when you come in here, it's $12.99.
That's right.
And that's what they did.
It's where Reddit's facing right now. Because it is the best. I mean, it really is probably one of the best places to go for information and to solve
Easily.
specific problems.
Yeah.
No question.
You can look up any question in the world and then type in Reddit afterwards.
Yeah.
And if someone has already asked your question 6 years ago.
Bro, I remember I asked a question like where I'm like, I was looking at places to move and I'm like, there's an old guy in a rent stabilized apartment and I'm like, there's a room renting for like $600, but
Yeah.
there was no door. So I'm like, can I hang a barn door? And I put a picture up and like 15 people answered it. Like, yeah, you can do it like this. This is how you can hang the door. And luckily I found an apartment so I didn't have to deal with that bullshit, but there was an answer for it. Some guy literally like mapped it out in AutoCAD and they like drafted it. They're like, this is how you can hang it. And this,
Wow.
they rendered it. It's crazy, man.
I was reading Ask NYC today.
Yeah.
And their thing was literally like, today was like, do you plan on staying in your rent stabilized apartment forever? Which really, it sounds like what a landlord would ask on Reddit
Yeah.
versus a regular person. But
Yeah.
I thought that was an interesting question. And your place is
I'm rent stabilized, yeah. And
So
it's
do you plan on staying forever?
Yeah, the only thing that could make me really move is if I get extremely wealthy, which I will from this podcast.
Yeah.
It will happen. We're willing it into existence. The other thing is if a woman comes in and ruins my life. That's about it.
Downvote.
No, if there's a girl, like I would let a significant other come in and move in. But we'd have to have a talk about like what space, and we have to have a talk about what that would mean long term.
You mean, are you guys gonna get married or something?
Yeah, it's like if someone's moving in, I'd have to be like, you know.
What's the most you've had someone over here?
There's a girl I was seeing like once or twice a week. Like
Once or twice a week.
That would come in like when we were dating. Yeah.
That's not too bad.
We'd make dinner and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, but not like no,
What
not
are
like
the
living.
problems of a rent stabilized apartment?
Well, so the guy beneath me went clinically insane, unfortunately. So he was like screaming and like at the top of his lungs, but then also like crying and stuff. And I'm okay with it. I lived above him. It's another dude. I don't care. But there's 3 like older ladies who live underneath me. They're like in their 60s. So they were getting really scared. But then it's like on one hand,
Now they know how we feel when they did that.
yeah, it's like we have feelings too.
Yeah.
So the guy was a squatter. It was a weird situation where during COVID, he moved in with some other guy who was on the lease. He scared the guy on the lease out. Instead of that guy confronting his problems, he just left. So then the squatter's in there, right? And this guy goes insane. And then it's like, you know, the landlords, I think they took measures to kick the guy out. And it's like, well, I guess it's safer for people, but at the same time, this guy is probably on the streets. He's probably not doing well. He's definitely not getting the help that he needs. So it's like, it's tough. And now there's a 24-year-old kid underneath me who I think is a DJ. And
This is the guy that has schizophrenia?
no, the new tenant. Is just
So that dude got kicked out.
yeah, he got kicked out. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Marshals came by. They evicted
Oh,
him.
yeah, you told me. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like a big thing or something. He just left one day. And then it's just replaced with someone who is, you know,
He plays music.
I don't know. It's the guy beneath me. He looks really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks. I would go to him for fashion advice, maybe.
Well, there you go. That's what's
Yeah.
happening all over New York City is we're all being kicked out by DJs.
I didn't see the listing. I checked the listings for my building just because I'm curious. It was never listed, so I don't think this guy is in a. He's probably not using an RSA lease. Like it's probably not going through the Rent Stabilization Association, which is illegal, right? What they're doing is illegal,
Yeah.
and this
So
guy
he's
is
getting charged way more.
above market for sure.
Yeah.
For sure, he's for sure. He's probably paying like I would say, I don't know if it double what I'm paying, but he's probably paying quite a bit.
That's insane.
Yeah. So this is just this has been happening for decades though in New York. You know.
Oh yeah, fleecing other people.
Yeah, because they'll
Yeah.
just pay. It's like there's a willing buyer for the price.
Yeah, New York City's a weird place because
Yeah.
there's so many people. It's like you're around people all the time. You don't really have space. You're constantly being aggravated. And
Yeah.
wherever you live is supposed to be the one place kind of that you could control who comes in and out.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like your only real safe space.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you live in a rent stabilized building, you're probably not having much of a
Well,
safe space.
I mean, I know all my neighbors, which is good. For me, I like that because
That's
it's
the
like,
most un-New York thing you've ever heard. I know my neighbors.
yeah. I mean, we're all like hang out on the stoop sometimes, and one of my neighbors is like a singer, a jazz singer, and so I'll go. I've seen her perform like once or twice
She performs at that place right around the block.
on 11th Street.
Oh,
11th and
okay.
A. Yeah. So she'll do like bebop and stuff. So yeah, we all kind of watch out for each other or like packages and stuff, which is good. But then people know who's coming in and out. So that's
One
not
of my
good.
neighbors got evicted,
Yeah.
and she left chicken and watermelon in her refrigerator, and it started
Yeah.
to smell so bad. I'll let you guess what color she was.
Oh,
And
okay.
my other neighbor.
I thought you
down-
meant the color of the chicken and the watermelon after 3 months.
You know what? By the time she left, they were the same color as her. That's all I'm gonna say. And my neighbor downstairs, he's got kids, he's got a wife. And this is all I know about him. I don't know anything else, but his kid says the N-word. Like, I remember I was in my kitchen,
That's crazy.
and I was like, they walked down, there's like the place where you park behind her or whatever.
Yeah.
And you walk down, and his kid just full blast was like, nigga.
To you?
No, he just said it in general.
That's crazy.
He just if he saw me, it'd be more impressive if he smelt me and was like, nigga. And then I just heard his dad go, what did I tell you about saying that? And I was like,
Wow.
at that moment, I had to laugh. I was like, this is crazy. I was like, this is so impressive. Because when he said it, it stopped me in my tracks. At first, I was like, is that my inner child calling me the N-word right now? I heard myself, and I was like, wait a minute. And then he said it again, and I was like, no, that's coming from outside.
That's wild.
And then I was like, wait a minute, this kid's not. His dad's white, and his wife, I believe, is Asian. And I'm like, nowhere in there is this okay for him. Asian,
Yeah.
He's not even like the kind of Asian where he speaks Mandarin. He's actually using like nigga as like they do. But I was like, anyways, that's all I know about my neighbors.
Yeah.
And then the one upstairs, I think she's a nurse. All I know about her is that
You go, hello, nurse. When she comes home.
Dude, I barely see her. We don't even make eye contact when we see each other.
Okay.
We're almost like passing and going, like,
Yeah.
she goes to work, obviously the nurse during the day. I leave at night. And then if I come back at night, I'm like, I turn the TV on full blast.
Gotcha.
But it's her living room wall. So if she's not in the living room, she
Yeah.
probably won't hear it. But
yeah.
and I can hear her play music like on Sundays and Saturdays.
Okay.
And, her like, girl, put your records on. I'm like, all right, bitch, I got you tonight. You about to get some UFO shit coming through your wall. Good luck sleeping to that.
Been on that alien bender.
Yeah.
Damn, all right. Well, yeah, New York's a wild place. But, yeah, I mean, on the news, we're talking about Reddit. Gary Gensler, right? There's a lot of shit that's been coming out on this
GG.
dude. GG. Yeah, like
Gucci gang.
he was like filing charges against Binance, right? Like
Yeah.
one of the last crypto exchanges that hasn't fallen yet.
I mean, isn't it kind of falling
Pretty
right now?
much, yeah. It's like a house of cards. But
Falling. I can't
What's-
get up. That's DMX, right?
yeah.
Fuck, okay,
Yeah, that's some of his later stuff.
I know. I've been on a DMX kick lately. But
He's
go
amazing.
ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, so Gary Gensler, he filed like charges. They pressed charges against Binance. But in 2019, he applied to be a director for Binance, and they rejected his application. So this guy was going on extra petty levels. Petty Queen, Tom Petty.
Yeah.
Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Put your crown on, Petty King.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a amazing level of petty.
Yeah. to not get that job, just be rejected. So then you become the head of the SEC and you sue that company and bring it down.
Weaponize your new position.
Weaponized pettiness is a. He should be Beyonce's new tour manager.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Spike King.
Yeah, Spike
Yeah.
King or Spike King. Yeah.
Throw it in reverse for Spike.
Yeah, that's crazy. So I was reading that, and
I'm trying to think of a place though I would do something like that too, where I hate them enough that I would go back and sue them.
I don't know, because I kind of let a lot of the hate go in my heart, because like you don't want that to stay with you.
Yeah, but Steven, you're a good employee. I'm a terrible employee. I
Well,
get
I mean,
fired all the time.
Not just for work, just for people too and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
You know, that wasn't the truth. You had that guy that you had to sue for money.
yeah, I did. Yeah,
Yeah.
I made money, but you know, I made my money back, and I'm doing great.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to think of a place. Is there a
Like,
place I didn't get hired? Oh, there's a couple. You know what? There might not. You know what? There might be a couple comedy clubs that I would definitely sue. I'll tell you that right now.
if they're still around though,
Yeah. I don't think I would have sued. I would have sued Caroline's. But there's a couple other places definitely I would sue.
yeah, Caroline's
Yeah.
fine. I mean, yeah, they're
I would be like, that comedy club touched me.
inappropriately.
Inappropriately, yeah.
Yeah.
And not my funny bone either.
Yeah. That's yeah, so he had some pettiness, and I think a congressman actually went ahead and what's his name? Warren Davidson, he filed a bill to fire Gary Gensler cuz like they just don't like what this guy is doing. He moves different as an SEC head. He
Yeah,
really
he's in
does.
a weird way. He tries to be, I guess, accountable to people. Like, he is opening up, talking to them, but also at the same time, it's like he really can't do too much because at the end of the day, he kind of really does work for hedge funds.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people get mad at him about not being able to regulate, but the SEC is so weak.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of fines, like, if you do something illegal, like, I don't know, I'm just going to say, like, seller boxing or whatever, or like, you know, whatever. Something like that, it's like,
Insider info.
yeah, it's
It's a
it's
politician.
worth it to do it and pay the fine later.
Oh yeah.
It's like, literally, if someone was like, you know, if you park your car here, it's a $70 fine. But then the person who's, like, waiting for you is inside being like, yeah, but if you come in here, you
Yeah.
can make $1 million.
Yeah.
They're like, then I'll pay the $75 fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make $1 million if I just illegally park and run into this
Yeah.
bakery real quick and, you know, kick this poor woman in her vagina.
I don't know how you got there.
I'm just trying to. I'm coming up with an analogy. This is on the spot.
In her pussy.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I got you.
You know what I mean?
That's crazy. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? J.P. Morgan's done this with like metals, with silver. They
Yeah.
like obfuscate what they actually own.
This
Definitely
is an analogy about the
politicians,
SEC, you know, and like, you know, these hedge funds. It's like, and Gary Gensler is the person who's watching it all happen.
Yeah.
Basically, he's the meter maid, being like, you know, hey.
Meter maid. That's such a great way to put
You know what I mean? What kind of, you can't be, like, technically he knows you're not supposed to be kicking ladies in the vagina. That, first of all, that's not his job. He's like, I don't know what to do about that.
Yeah.
And then second of all, he's like, I'm trying to get where you at. I'm trying to be in the car kicking people in their vaginas.
Yeah. How do we know that? Because he fucking applied for the job.
He applied for the job.
He applied. Yeah.
He applied for the job to illegally park and kick people in their vaginas.
And then he goes after all of crypto. After they're
Yeah.
like, man, you're not it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not cool enough for us to. He didn't get accepted to the cool kids table.
Yeah.
And a lot of people made a lot of money. 2019 to 2023 in crypto, crazy amount of money.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When I get all my money, like let's say I had like $1 million or something like that.
Yeah.
I would still put the money in crypto. I wouldn't do it off an exchange,
Yeah.
but I would still buy Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Like, the fact of these ebbs and flows or whatever that's happened, it's like it's always come back.
I put like 5% in. You know. Maybe,
Yeah, I'm not
maybe
saying
10%.
I'm not, you know, go fucking, you know, excuse me, don't go full retard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't ever go full. It's like, don't put 80% in or something like that.
Yeah.
But, you know, as the people would say, there's only 21 million of them. Let's see them inflate that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just throw a
I
little
like
bit
that.
in, $30 a month.
Yep.
I would never go crazy over it, but I think in 12 years, they're gonna be singing a whole nother tune about Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I think for sure.
Yeah, it's still super new. Just all of it in general.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're trying to regulate it means that
it's not going away.
Exactly. Yeah. There is a reason that they're doing that.
It's not a fad.
Yeah.
Which I thought it was.
Yeah, me too. I mean, that was probably the biggest mistake I made was not putting any money in it.
When it dipped last time?
Just in general, I haven't really put any type of real money in it. I put like a paycheck in, but that's about it. But I definitely we know people who have made a lot of money off of crypto.
Yeah, for sure.
Who've gone from like 4 figures, like 1,000, 2,000 to close to 7 figures, which is insane.
Yeah.
That's insane to think about. But that's kind of like, that's also the model that as like anyone under 35 is presented is like you have to find an outrageous way to get rich.
Yeah, to gamble.
You have to gamble, yeah. And it's like a lot of people go, well, I got to do this. Or it'd be dumb for me not to try, which I think is a very fair statement.
In a way, I've learned that, and
I respect it.
We all gamble in certain different ways with our lives. You know what I mean? I know a guy who actually has a gambling problem. And it's like, would I rather put my money on Bitcoin or, Jokic to get a triple-double? You know what I mean? To make the parlay. Or do I want to start watching ladies tennis to figure out how to make, a grand?
Make a market.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I know people like that.
That's crazy.
I know a dude, I was hanging out with him and we were watching the game. I was like, oh yeah, I got a NBA TV. We can watch any game. He's like, cool. Do you have ladies tennis? And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I got a lot of money. You can make a lot of money on ladies tennis. Do you watch that? I was like, no.
That's crazy.
I don't have a gambling problem. He's like, yeah, all right.
I know this guy. By that laugh, I know this guy.
Exactly, you know who it is. Yeah.
I know who this person is.
That was a good time. We watched a lot of games together.
That's hilarious.
It'd be crazy. It's like someone, he's like, can you turn on a hockey game? Yeah, but do you have Carolina? I need to see Carolina. It's just once. It's like, oh, you like Carolina? No. I just...
the worst team in the league.
Yeah.
Or whatever, yeah. That's some, damn, all right. Well, the last thing was the debt deal that had gone through.
That did go through.
That almost feels like old news now by how long that was on the news. But what, 31.4 trillion?
31, right? Yeah.
And they suspended having to do this again until 2025.
So whoever's the next president,
yep,
you got to deal with that.
Yep.
Whoever you think it's going to be.
Yep.
Whoever you're voting for.
And there's no budget caps on defense spending after, I think, 2025. No cap.
Which is crazy, because they just lost how many billions of dollars we talked about in the other podcast?
Like, physically lost.
Physically. Yeah. They don't even know where it's at. That's how much money they had. They were like, damn, we lost $1 billion. I know I had it in one of my pants pockets.
From the audit. Where's this going?
Which is insane, but then also at the same time...
It's in my other bands.
Yeah, it's in my other bands.
That's where it is.
You got Miracle Whips.
Yeah.
And then I saw a story recently where it's like they can't get enough people to sign up for the military, so they're now offering citizenship to people who are not American citizens to basically, if you sign up, I don't know how long you got to do, probably 4 years at least, you become an American citizen. And which is...
That's absolutely wild.
It is?
I don't mean that in like a bad way. It's just like, it's wild. We've never done that before.
No. Which says a lot about us that we're like, all right, we're not going to be part of this global war machine. And then America goes, that's okay. We don't need you. We've got plenty of other people who are ready to be Americans.
That's like, yeah. Because the other way is like you could buy it from financing. It's called EB-5 financing. The Hudson Yards that everyone loves or whatever. Like a lot of that was financed by, people would put money into that and then they would get citizenship for it.
It's just weird because one day you might hear somebody being like, I fought for this country, boyo. This is my country. Okay? You either fucking leave it or love it. And you're like, wait, where are you from? He's like, I'm fucking from Queens. I'm an American. And you're like, wow, this is going to be the future. Like, honestly.
It's real IRA.
This is, Chuck your law. Honestly. These are mercenaries. This is the mercenary This is like some shit you see, like,
Yeah.
I don't know what this is, like, you see at the beginning of, like, Gladiator or something, where they're like, if you fight for us, you will get your freedom.
Pay to play. Pay to play, baby.
Crazy, though. That literally
Yeah.
they're saying, like, hey, if you want to be an American, you got to go kill some people for us. And then you, too, can be an American.
Yeah.
Uncle Sam wants you.
Yeah. Yeah. They're just doing it a different way.
Tío
now.
Sam. Tío Sam. Quiero tú. Like, imagine, like, the, posters put up in different places, like...
Yeah.
That's just, I don't know, that was just such a crazy story that I read earlier, which is like
Well,
imperialism?
I guess it still does speak to the opportunity here in the States relative
To go kill people?
a lot of other countries. I mean, yeah. But you know what I mean.
I mean, that's the opportunity. It's
Yeah.
like you get to go, if you kill people for us, you get to be a citizen.
We're really great at content marketing as a country to ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, to our own citizens, like, our content marketing is crazy. Like, Americans, they don't really think about other countries ever. They don't think about what it means to live in France or Spain or be a Spanish citizen or French citizen or Australian
Like
citizen.
EU citizen? Oh, man, if you could get that EU passport.
Man, at Switzerland. I'm looking for I'm specifically targeting Norway. And we'll talk about that behind the paywall.
Yeah, if you get EU, you're good either way. You get to live anywhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah, EU that's everywhere except for UK.
Okay.
Because they're all in the EU.
Okay.
So if you have one for Germany, you
Okay.
have it for all of Europe again,
Damn.
except for the UK.
Okay.
That's all you need is the EU. That's it.
I'm looking for that, man. I'm looking for, I don't need love anymore. I need EU citizenship.
Yeah, that's it.
And if it comes to love, that would be incredible. But
Well, what would you do for love?
a lot of dirty, disgusting things.
Exactly.
Yeah. Whatever needs to be done.
Yeah. I'm looking for a swap.
You're looking for a swap.
Yeah, you get the American one, I'll get the EU.
It's like a Craigslist swap.
Easy. Easy peasy.
Citizenship swapping instead
Yeah.
of apartment swapping.
Yeah, piece of cake.
Yeah.
You can be with whoever you want. And we can just be like, oh, we're poly passport.
It's like trading places.
Yeah. I let my girl, she's out there. She's doing whatever she want to do. Yeah,
Yeah.
same. We don't place borders around our love.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I love that. That's a good concept.
Thank you. I mean, if you're out here doing it
Yeah.
for, some broke ass dude who roller skates in Brooklyn, you might as well do it for somebody who can get you health care in France.
Yeah. Seriously.
Like
This is genderless. We're talking to everyone right now.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like I think if you need an appendectomy or something like that. I know a guy, he's got a French passport. His parents are from France and they immigrated. Oh, I forget, in the 80s or something like that. But he's first generation here in Brooklyn. He's like, he had a surgery or something. He's like, it's cheaper for me to go back to France, get the surgery done, and come back to America than it was to get a surgery here.
For an appendectomy though?
I don't know if it was
Those
an
are typically,
appendectomy. I don't know if
like
it was
emergency.
that.
Like
But it
for
was like,
appendicitis.
I don't think it was appendectomy.
Okay.
But I was just saying that. I was just like,
Yeah.
he was telling me about it.
Gotcha.
I mean, honestly, shit, Messi just came to Inter Miami because he's getting the big man teams. He's getting a percentage of Apple revenue, a percentage of MLS stock, a percentage of the team.
Yep.
Essentially, people who are like, why would he go to Inter versus going to the Saudis or keep playing in Europe? First of all, this is what David Beckham did. When he left Manchester United and Real Madrid, David Beckham took a pay cut, but he said, I want a percentage of the ticket sales, and then I want a percentage of, I believe, MLS. And then at the same time, he said,
Smart.
I want to get to be an owner.
Equity partner.
Yeah. He said, in 5 years, something like that. He was like, I want to have the right to be an owner and own a team. Messi has the exact same deal, but even better, because now, and which is basically saying Messi will own MLS team.
Honestly, that's what NBA players should do on the out of their career.
Michael Jordan did it. That's why he came back and played for the
Gotcha.
Wizards. That was the only reason he came back and played, was because they told him he could be owner. And the Wizards owner, I think, told him that, but I think he lied to him. And then he ended up buying Charlotte.
Okay.
But, LeBron James will be an owner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like players now are now playing more for ownership than they are for like when we were kids. They were like, "Oh, will you be a head coach one day?"
Yeah.
And now it's like,
Nah, they want ownership. They see
Yeah.
what that's provided, how it shapes policies, everything. And there was you also I know you had something to do with LeBron, but there was something I know the question that you had with Jordan and LeBron.
yeah,
too.
we got a question from the podcast. I mean,
Yeah.
on Instagram, and people were asking who's a better billionaire, LeBron James or Michael Jordan. And it depends on what you mean by better
Better,
billionaire.
yeah.
Like, I would say LeBron James is like if I had $1 billion, I would hope I would use it that way, where he has his I Promise school,
Yeah.
and he has his academies, he has his camps.
Yeah.
He also has helped his friends all become millionaires.
Like his dealings, yeah.
Yeah, he helped his Rich Paul, who's now dating Adele. We call him Mr. Adele here on this podcast. He's dating her, and had him became like a huge sports agent.
Yeah.
And then there's his other friend Maverick Carter, who basically is his right hand man.
I know that name, yeah.
Yeah, Maverick Carter does the Shot podcast with whatever HBO show. It's a podcast, but with LeBron.
LeBron, yeah.
Yeah, and they hang out and talk and whatever. So in my mind, I would say LeBron, just because LeBron has friends, and Michael Jordan is now at the point in his life where Scottie Pippen hates him.
It's crazy.
Well, I mean, his son is having sex with Scottie Pippen's ex-wife.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Jordan has something to do with that in some way.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he sent the hit squad out.
Yeah, the Goon Squad.
Yeah, he sent the Goon Squad out.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, also too, like, Jordan can't even sell his house in Chicago, which is insane. Like, he's got a, I don't know, $30-something million mansion that he can't sell because maybe it's all personalized with Jordan stuff.
Okay.
But, I don't think,
He's trying to get rid of it, though.
he's trying to get rid of it. Someone broke into it recently and just went around it and saw how empty it was and like how everything was all Jordan. He's trying to get rid of it so bad. He's literally offering you every single Jordan ever to be signed by him in the deal if you buy the house.
That's wild.
And it's like, listen, man, the kind of people that have the money that you like
Yeah.
want to buy that house, they're not wearing Jordan sneakers.
I don't think they'd want to live in Michael Jordan's house.
I wouldn't want to live in Michael Jordan. It's haunted.
Yeah, it's like,
His shoes are haunted.
yeah.
There's shoes made by the devil. I don't know if anyone's ever worn Jordans or played in Jordans.
I haven't actually.
They're not comfortable. Maybe except for the 10. But every other shoe, like even Jordan himself was like, yeah, I played in my old sneakers and my feet were bleeding. That's how evil he is. Even his own feet were bleeding. But he was like, I don't care, they're my sneaker, I'm gonna play them.
I got to do it for the brand.
Doing it for the bag.
Yeah.
And LeBron, he's done a lot of. I'm not saying he's perfect. I mean, people get mad at him for not speaking up out against China, and everything like that. When the whole situation was going down.
Well, I mean, he was coached on that too, though. So to be fair to him, it's like owners definitely coached him.
Oh, not to speak out.
Yeah. The league definitely did.
I think you got to pick your battles.
Yeah.
I think LeBron was like fighting over here with a lot of what was going on with the George Floyd situation, the NBA bubble when they were going to strike. And he gets up and talks about whatever he wants to do to help, race relations here in the States. And then, people come out and they say, shut up and dribble. And then, the whole situation with China happened. And he was like, you know what? I think that's a good idea. I'm going to shut up and dribble.
Smart.
Yeah. And then now he
Smart.
says something. People get mad at him. Then he doesn't say something. They get mad at him. So,
Yeah.
I would say again that versus Jordan, who's the ultimate capitalist.
Yeah, that is very true.
He's like, Republicans wear sneakers too. So he that's just an ultimate salesman right there.
So then, I guess if you were looking at the better billionaire from that perspective of the ultimate capitalist,
Just making money.
then you could say Jordan that way.
Jordan for sure.
Yeah, but I think LeBron. I don't know as much about those details for each of their personal. I mean, I know a little bit, but not like everything. But it seems like LeBron's more focused on legacy
He is, and he owns a part of
and community too.
he owns a part of Liverpool too, soccer team. So he's
Yeah.
already kind of in ownership,
Yeah.
and he's about making a global impact,
Yeah.
and he's doing that. So I would go for my money. I would go with LeBron
Yeah.
because he's also a Laker. Really, that's it.
I get that.
Yeah, but you know,
And then, I mean, even with all the sports talk, because money has played such a big factor, because I saw, I don't even watch golf, but I saw that LIV, the
Yeah.
Saudis own LIV, and that was like what they created, and they bought the PGA, right?
I thought they all went in together.
Yeah,
They all, like,
something, yeah, like
it's a merger.
consortium or whatever.
Like
yeah.
all the tournaments are gonna now be together and they're not gonna be separated. It's kind of like boxing was like WBA, WGA, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean, WGN and all
But
that
they,
stuff.
yeah, they really coached players for a long time to say, if you leave, you can never come back.
Yeah,
And it's like they were putting a lot of pressure on players to say, you're not a part of this family anymore. It doesn't matter what you've done. And they probably made a couple players turn down big paydays that would have helped them and their families. And then they turn around, they're like, just kidding, guys.
Yeah.
We're all a big family now. We didn't mean what we said.
yeah. The name of that show is called All About the Benjamins.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you know, take the money if you need it and you don't feel like it's there's no moral wrongdoing if you're going to LIV over PGA.
no,
Like, I mean, clearly, like, I don't think an argument can be made. It's just like, yeah. So, I don't know. That to me was really interesting too, in terms of like the merger that was done there.
that's big money.
Huge.
Well,
money.
Messi will be a billionaire too
Yeah.
after this deal with the MLS.
Sure. There's no question.
Oh yeah, once you get a part of TV rights.
Yeah.
I mean, we went to the game a year ago, NYFC. I think the tickets were $20.
Yeah.
It cost me more, I believe. It cost me about close enough to however long it took me to get to the game from New York. Like the public transportation almost cost me as much as a ticket. I'm pretty sure. Like I
Yeah.
bought one of those. You ever had those like lemonade ice frozen?
Yeah, that costs the same.
That cost the
The
same
icing.
amount as a ticket.
Yeah.
Literally. And now tickets like for Inter, you can't go to any of the home games. I think even the away games, they're now $500. They're sold out.
Really?
Yeah. So technically, I would say 2 tickets to like if you had paid like for 2 tickets to go to an Inter game.
Yeah.
It literally would have
like
been
$500
cheaper
now.
for you to have flown to Paris while he's playing for PSG, stay the night, go to the game, and then leave, than it is for you to pay these 2 tickets.
I want to see him in Miami. I really want to go.
I don't know. I'm not to say that I don't want to see him, but when I was in Paris, I was like, I kind of wanted to see him, and I could have went, and I could have saw Mbappe, I could have saw Neymar,
Yeah.
and him.
Yeah.
And even then, I was like, I'm okay. I'm not dying to see.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to. Europe's different, but yeah.
They were booing him. You're Fred.
I would love to see that.
He came to
That would be
America.
great. Yeah.
But in Paris, they were booing him. They were like, boo, get out of here. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to Miami. Fuck y'all.
Fuck this. Yeah.
And this is after he won the World Cup.
Yeah.
And
That's
they,
wild.
well, but it could be that's why they were booing him also because he did beat France in the World Cup. So who knows exactly all the reasons why. But it is interesting to see that, like, wow, Messi's going to be, he's going to be an owner. And he's going to be probably one of the biggest, I mean, I think he is the biggest sports star in the world now.
Yeah, it's him or Ronaldo.
Messi's bigger.
You think-
After
okay.
winning the World Cup,
Yeah,
he kind of
that makes sense.
He
That
kind of
makes sense.
cemented it. But Ronaldo's up there too.
Yeah. And I like Zlatan a lot. I love that guy.
He just retired too.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
His, like, confidence is off the fucking charts. Yeah, I love that guy.
I like Zlatan. But he's not on their level.
No. Not even close.
But he is Zlatan.
Yeah.
I think we talked about what he did with LeBron.
Did we?
You never talked about he played in LA, Zlatan, LAFC.
Mm-hmm.
And LeBron James, when he's on Lakers, he sent him a jersey. to Zlatan.
Yeah,
I thought so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Zlatan signed the jersey and sent it back to LeBron.
Yeah.
Which is the ultimate boss move.
So amazing.
Yeah.
Fuck, I love that guy.
Yeah.
God damn it. I want you all to have that energy in your life.
Zlatan energy.
Yeah, you need that. It doesn't matter if it's Zlatan or not. Have that energy. Although he does watch the podcast. He did tell us that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to, be on his level, tell your friends about Sad Money.
Did you have anything else?
That's really it. I was going to end saying what they didn't include in the debt ceiling plan, but we already know.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of bullshit. We don't need to go through it.
Well, my personal favorite story that I saw
Yeah.
this whole entire time is killer whales are attacking yachts in Spain.
Yes.
Yes.
Tell him the story.
My favorite thing, I want to call them the interracial Iberian mammals. They're out there, and this has been happening since 2020, and they're saying that the orcas, because killer whale, I feel like that's disrespectful. It's like they're saying they're out there attacking the rudders, and they're using it as a game. And not only are they leaving boats stranded, one guy at one point was like, I think, because sometimes they attack the actual boat and the boat sinks.
Yeah. And
then people have to get on, I guess what they call them, tenders or something like that, or, whatever, buoys or whatever. But they never actually kill anyone. Nah. You know what I mean? So I have to let people know that the most they're just taking down these yachts. And, a lot of people are talking about, eat the rich. And these whales are doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
See what happens if we work together?
You got like Merman underneath,
yeah,
sending his boom boom.
Yeah, Aquaman or whatever.
Aquaman,
Jason Momoa's down there sending messages to these people.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to say this. They're interracial, whales. You know what I mean?
What do you mean interracial whales?
They're black and white.
Oh, you mean the whales themselves are that?
Yeah, the whales are interracial. Yeah. I just want to say this, you know what I mean, to my whale family out there. If you listen to the podcast,
That's right.
And listen,
Special
that's
message.
Between us.
That was really beautiful.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
just between us.
Can we get some class for that?
Let's get some class
That's
for that.
beautiful. That's beautiful.
In other words, this is all well centered. I'm gonna probably finish this. They're letting out my homie Lolita.
Okay.
She's free. She's leaving the Florida detention center she's been in. Free my nigga Lolita. She's been in captivity at the Miami, I don't know what the hell this place is, aquarium. I don't even know if you want to call it an aquarium at this point. But like one of those Sea Worlds down there. She's been there for 50 years.
Wow. And meanwhile, another whale has entered jail. Elizabeth Holmes. Amazing. She made it in. She's in there. She's actually in jail. I had never thought the day would arrive. She's got to serve 12 years. And I have a calendar on my wall. It makes me happy to see every single day that she's in jail.
I'm happy the whales are getting their payback,
Yeah, Elizabeth Holmes too. Let's not forget about her.
I don't really care about her. I
don't really care either.
Yeah, I'm happy for the whales. Like, I feel so guilty.
Yeah.
I feel so bad. I stayed at SeaWorld one time.
Like you slept over?
I slept over.
How'd you do that?
I think, you live in San Diego or something. I didn't live in San Diego, but LA. You travel down, and then if you want, especially a lot of school, it was pretty easy to do. It was fun to stay there as a kid.
Yeah.
But as an adult, now realizing that I was literally sleeping at like fish Auschwitz, I don't want to...
You were a kid.
I know, as a kid, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I didn't know. But that's what I'm saying. It's like the boy with the striped pajamas.
Yeah.
Except for fish, where it was like this whole entire time, these fishes and dolphins and whales were like, I'm dying in here.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, you're like, this is a great birthday.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God. To see how... You saw that movie Blackfish.
No.
You never saw Blackfish?
No, is that the documentary?
That's a documentary, yeah.
Okay, I know about this, yeah. I just haven't seen it.
Oh my God, it's so terrible. And then you see like, wow, this... And then again, you can even see where the Lolita was staying in Florida. And then they do like a super sped up, video of like the captivity. These tanks... It's the equivalent of you staying in your bathroom.
Okay.
And the only time they let you out is to do tricks for other people.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun.
Yeah.
That sounds horrible.
It's so depressing too, because when you see killer whales, their dorsal fins are like this, but only in captivity. because literally they're so depressed.
Oh, so it does that.
It
Yeah.
just does
wow.
that.
Physically, yeah, you can see the depression.
You
come
can
in.
see the depression set in, but then when they're out in the wild, their dorsal fins are up.
Goes right back up.
Yeah, but you know, if you're just sitting there in your bathroom or whatever the whole entire time, and somebody comes in, that's why they're out here, you know, killing these trainers, because they're like, hey man, let me out of here.
Yeah.
But anyways, I am glad that all these, you know,
Yeah.
horrible fish places are
Dying slowly.
yeah, and that eventually, and also the whales are showing us we're on your side. We want to eat the rich,
Or at least sink them.
sink it. People
Yeah.
are afraid in Spain now on the Iberian coast to even go use their yachts,
Phenomenal. That's great. That's good.
and they did that for us.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you, Lolita.
50 years. Imagine that. 50 years in captivity
18 years.
in Miami.
18 years.
You can't go to the strip club. She
I
ain't
know,
going to
man.
South Beach.
18th birthday, found out
Yeah.
it wasn't his.
50 years.
That's crazy.
Wrongfully imprisoned.
And there's no compensation there, right?
No compensation. They're going to reintroduce her to the wild,
Damn.
and that's about it.
Well, you know what? I hope she has a wet, wild, and fun summer. You deserve it. You deserve it.
I hope she gets her orca back blown out.
She's looking for love. She's not looking for that.
Who knows?
All right,
50
maybe-
years of captivity?
Maybe
I mean,
a little bit of that.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
let her let loose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think your first suitor is right here. God damn. That's
I mean,
great.
honestly, she'd kill me if she saw me. She'd be like, "Oh, not again. I ain't going back. I ain't never going back. 2 years in lockbox, never." She's out here like Queen Latifah from Set It Off. She's like, ain't gonna happen. So you know, respect to my orcas out there.
Yeah.
You know, what I mean, keep fighting the good fight. Take
That's
down
right.
these yachts.
These Bezos yachts and all this bullshit.
This giant helicopter pad on the
Yeah.
Russian oligarch yachts, and
All that shit.
you're up next.
That's right.
Wait till we get the humpbacks on the squad, the blue whales.
Woo.
It's a wrap then.
That's right. It's summer, man. Anything can happen.
It's going down.
Anything can happen. Oh, hold on. I gotta close this out with the glasses on because it's hot out here. Summer's up. Shit is hot out there, except for inflation. It's cooling apparently, but we hope you guys have a great start to your summer, and we're gonna see you soon, right?
Yeah, we'll see you soon.
All right.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram,
Thank you.
YouTube.
Thank you for commenting.
Yeah. Oh yeah, especially commenting.
Yeah.
And tell us what you like. Again, if you have any ideas or topic, the LeBron James, Michael Jordan was
Brilliant.
one someone sent to us,
Yeah.
and you know, so we'll talk about anything you guys want to talk about that has to relate to finance. If not, we'll try to make it relate to finance. But and in other words.
To translate,
Yeah.
sad money out. Peace.